Buckle up, Internet, because it's time for a story. A story about the time I built a computer, which I promise ties into what I'm actually making today. Once upon a time, I ordered RAM, and I received this. I legitimately have no idea how this happens. That's right. In real life, someone packaged up and sent me a paper plate instead of RAM. Alright, let's go ahead and get our RAM in there. Alright. Hopefully this makes my computer real fast. So needless to say, when I got a box this size, I was really skeptical that it was actually RAM. And as it turns out, it was not RAM, it was a Thingy 53, which means I was accepted into another Hackster contest.
In case you missed it, last time I made gloves that could detect plants and would automatically spray any poison ivy it saw. Now I've signed myself up for a potato-centric machine learning thing. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least. So it all begins with a potato that did not want to go bad so that I could use the Thingy 53 to get environmental readings and compare good potatoes with bad potatoes. Supposedly, putting an onion with a potato expedites the process of sprouting, so I gave that a try. I guess more specifically, putting them together in a bag and waiting causes sprouting. Eventually, it was time to compare a bag of fresh, good potatoes with my now green and nasty-looking potato. I put the thingy in with each of the potato bags separately to get their readings, and I discovered it couldn't even sort of distinguish between the green potato and the good potatoes. So I also went ahead and got a hold of some molding red potatoes and compared them to good red potatoes and had very similar results where the good and bad potato data looked the same, so I decided it was time for science. It was time to throw down the gauntlet. If there's anything I could get crazy moldy for comparison, it was cheese. I set aside some cheese until it got ridiculously moldy and compared it with good cheese. I even left the Thingy 53 in the bag with the moldy cheese overnight to ensure it had plenty of time to get nice and gassy, but the values were all very similar between the good and bad cheese still.
And those incredibly similar values come from comparing this cheese that's good with this cheese that's not even recognizable anymore. So I think we're going to have to take a new approach to this.
The sensor data other than gas seems to be good, so the new plan was to focus more on the environment itself, and we're starting super simple with identifying light versus dark. I made a new project with Edge Impulse and it cooperated much better. Unsurprisingly, the light data was very different than that of pitch black, so it was pretty easy to get the model working correctly. Going back to Edge Impulse, I could inference with the thingy and real-time see whether it thought we were in the light or the dark, which it thankfully got right. Ooh, machine learning. It was pretty cool though, and was a much better example of what this could actually do since it was working with sensor data it could be reasonably expected to differentiate. So I made one more project called the Potato Defender. I figured if I couldn't monitor the potatoes themselves, I could monitor the environment instead. If it's too light, potatoes will sprout. We can also easily capture data like temperature and humidity to ensure we're maintaining an ideal environment. To get good humidity readings, I brought the thingy back into the bathroom and cranked the shower heat up to 11. The initial model accuracy was okay, but with some minor tweaks I managed to get all the way down to 0% accuracy. So, that was great. But this time I could see that the data itself was good, so I just had to work on the model. I looked into other model options that were available, tried other built-in functions, and ended up just running with a very simple model with a lot of training cycles and got it to 87.5% accuracy, which seemed straight up decent. So there you go, that was my first interaction with thingies or Edge Impulse, and with that I could inference with my little sensor box and have it tell me if the environment was too light or too humid for potatoes, which is pretty neat. Hopefully you enjoyed this potato-centric adventure, and have a good one.
Crazy news! They made the like button free. You can just kind of click it and make YouTube happy. And if this video didn't make your eyes bleed, you can press the subscribe button and see more of my stuff every week. Alright, peace.